Hello, everybody. I just tried to do a live event, and dear God, it's that confusing. So, we're not going to do that. This episode of the Lewis Sabin Video Podcast and all episodes are brought to you as a huge thanks to Joe Rogan and the JRE, the Joe Rogan Experience Podcast, available on iTunes and YouTube. Joe's a very funny man. He used to be the host of Fear Factor. Don't know why I couldn't come up with that. I also used to be on some kind of sitcom. I forget the name of it. He's currently the color commentator for the UFC, and of course a stand-up comedian. And he is freaking hilarious. You guys definitely should listen to him. Some of his comedy is on Spotify. Feel free to listen to him. He's truly a great guy. We're also brought to you by huge thank you to Zions, the only energy drink I drink. 0 calories, 0 sugar, no crash, no jitters, no terrible taste. The original great tasting 0 calorie energy drink. Real energy for real people. The unique formula that gives you the #Power2. Today I have blue pomegranate in my hand. It is delicious. Like I said, there's no nasty aftertaste. It just tastes fruity and delicious. Definitely should drink it. This is our first episode at night. Yeah, so you guys can finally see how ugly I am. The computer's sitting on my lap, so I'll try not to move as much as possible. I am not sponsored by any of these. I am not sponsored by either of these companies. Although if they wish to sponsor me, that would be freaking amazing. All right. Today we're going to talk about the NFL, their scouting combine, and who's going to be at the scouting combine. They released that through, I forget the name of the site. I've got it open. I'm also going to discuss and destroy, most likely, the same site's mock draft they just released post Super Bowl. Before we start, I would like to say huge congratulations to Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos for winning the Super Bowl. And there were a few good commercials. All right, let's crack this baby open. Okay, so huge changes have happened. If you haven't noticed, first, it's nighttime. I have a lamp on. That's where the light's coming from. 2, you can see my ugly face. 3, I'm sitting in a new chair. 4, we are filming from a new location today. That's right, I have officially moved out. I am in my own apartment. It is amazing. If you haven't moved out of your parents' place yet and you're around my age, do it. Totally worth it. It's a great apartment. No complaints. I'm still emptying boxes and shit. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are the big changes that have happened. I know I announced them already because I didn't know if I was going to get this place in time. However, the people who were supposed to get it after I had to reapply for it, they didn't want it, I guess. Now, shazam, I have this place. It's pretty nice. Don't know how I feel about this whole filming at night thing. 2 reasons. 1, as I said, I live in an apartment complex. Don't want to keep my people awake that are, next to me, above me, shit like that. 2, don't know how I feel about you guys being able to see my hideous face. Yeah. Alright, let's get to this. Get my thing to scroll. Let's hope the camera doesn't decide to turn off. Ta-da! Looks like it's still on. Okay, so Campus Sports is the site that I'm on. They released a post-Super Bowl mock draft. Alright, let me see. I do have to do that. Okay. Gotta wait for it to load again. I gotta use my keys to shift back and forth from pages. So for the first pick, they still have Laremy Tunsil from Ole Miss going first overall. I don't understand the huge hype with him. I've watched some tape on Ole Miss. I wasn't disappointed with him, but I wasn't all that excited about him either. I can think of a few linemen that I'd pick first before picking Tunsil. Although I could be completely wrong, and he could be, like an amazing athlete. But from the tape that I saw, I'm not saying he's bad, but I wouldn't take him first overall. With campus sports, they have that being the first pick, and the second pick being Jared Goff going to Cleveland. I don't disagree with that pick. Cleveland does need a quarterback. I don't know if I would pick Jared Goff, per se. I think he's the best quarterback in the draft, as of right now. A very close second is probably the kid from Stanford, and that is, I can't think of his name, their quarterback, who I think the New England Patriots should get. But here's where I have a huge disagreement. Okay, so 1, you get a tackle. 2, you go Goff. Okay, fine. I've already gone through, I think, up to pick number 4 on here. Pick number 3, the San Diego Chargers. They have them getting Jalen Ramsey. Why would you go corner when Joey Bosa is still sitting there? I don't get it. If he's still sitting there at 3 and I'm San Diego, I don't give a shit what corner is available. You take Joey Bosa. And that's not because I'm pro Joey Bosa. I actually could care less. I'm just saying, if I was a GM, let me adjust some things real quick, that is the pick that would make sense, not Jalen Ramsey. All right, 4th overall. I gotta wait for the page to load. Hang on. They have the Dallas Cowgirls getting Laquan Treadwell. Okay, I could see that. You do need a receiver because, you have Dez Bryant, who's really not that great. Other than that, you really don't have any receivers. With the exception of course, Jason Witten. They have Joey Bosa going 5th to Jacksonville. Yeah, that's not going to happen. I see Jacksonville getting Jalen Ramsey. You can use a little corner help. Your defensive line, once you get Fowler back, you should be fine. Maybe get a tackle, but I would say Ramsey would make sense there. They got Baltimore Ravens getting Miles Jack. Okay, they do need linebacker help. They have Carson Wentz going to the Niners. I finally did get to see a little bit of tape on Carson Wentz, and I truly don't understand why people are excited about him. Yeah, he's got a decent arm. Yeah, he's got okay vision. But other than that, I just don't get it. I would take Paxton Lynch over Carson Wentz. I just don't get it. They got the Niners getting him. I don't understand the hype behind him. I don't think he's that great. They've got Miami getting Vernon Hargreaves. That's not that big of a surprise. They do need a corner. In fact, the Dolphins just in general need an entire new team. You can get rid of a lot of dead money if they get rid of Dum Dum Sue too, but they won't do that. Instead, we here see him getting Vernon Hargreaves, which makes sense. They do need a corner. So, let me see. Tampa Bay with 9. They have them getting DeForest Buckner at defensive end. That's a very good pick. Good player. Not surprised. It'll also help out Gerald McCoy. You got the Giants getting Shaq Lawson. That makes sense. You're down a defensive end due to Usi Umenyiora retiring this past season. And Shaq Lawson's a big boy. And he's a very powerful guy. I absolutely understand getting Shaq Lawson. I'd do it if I was GM too. It's a great pick. Chicago getting Jalen Smith. To be honest with you, their defense just needs a complete revamp. So getting Jalen's a great choice. New Orleans getting Mackenzie Alexander. Don't know if that's where I would put my focus. He's a corner out of Clemson. Not saying it's a bad pick. I just don't know if that's who I'd go with my first round. I'd be trying to probably think outside the box. Yeah, corner's not a bad choice, but maybe even go linebacker. But Mackenzie's a solid corner. Wouldn't be a bad pick. I'm just not sure that's where you go. Yeah, the Philadelphia Eagles getting Emmanuel Ogbah from Oklahoma State. It's a good choice. They need help on defense. They need help on offense. In fact, that's another team that you could pretty much re-pick everybody for the whole roster because your entire roster sucks. The Raiders getting Leonard Floyd. Okay, they need another linebacker on the other side of that kid from the Niners that they got this past season. They got the Rams getting Paxton Lynch. Okay. I'd probably lean Connor Cook, but Paxton Lynch is another very good choice. They got the Detroit Lions getting Ronnie Stanley. It's a good choice. Lions definitely need an offensive lineman. They got the Falcons getting Robert Nkemdiche, the defensive tackle out of Ole Miss. That's a decent pick. I see him going to Atlanta. That makes sense. They've got the Colts at 18 getting Ezekiel Elliott. I read part of that, and then for some reason my brain said that. Probably because I said Detroit a second ago. They got him getting Elliott. That's a great pick. Getting Elliott would be smart. They do need running backs. Got Buffalo Bills getting Reggie Ragland, inside linebacker. That makes sense. You need help there. They got the Jets getting Darren Lee. He's an outside linebacker for Ohio State. Yeah, I can see the Jets getting another linebacker. That would definitely help them out. Wouldn't hurt to get a receiver either. Other than that, maybe an O-lineman, but I think that's your best bet. It's probably going with Darren Lee. They have the Washington Redskins getting a Sean Robinson, defensive end or defensive tackle from Alabama. That's another smart pick. They definitely need defensive line help. Maybe a linebacker would have been the only other choice. Here's another thing I totally disagree on, and that is the Houston Texans getting Connor Cook. Let's be completely honest here. Why would you take a quarterback from a system you've never worked with when there's a guy that you recruited for college going into the NFL? Houston's not going to take Connor Cook. They're going to take Christian Hackenberg. Minnesota getting Braxton Miller at receiver. That makes sense. Braxton Miller, I watched some tape on him at receiver for the Senior Bowl. It's either the Senior Bowl or the North. Is that the North-South one? Yeah. Senior Bowl is North-South. And he looked great. I'm actually going to watch the whole Senior Bowl here in a minute. I only watched the practices, but from what I saw from practice, kid's dangerous. They got Cincinnati at 24 getting Jerron Reed, defensive lineman, Alabama. Cincinnati needs help at line. Definitely need some help there. I think if they get a couple more linemen, that they could be dangerous. Steelers getting Andrew Billings out of Baylor. Yeah, you could use some defensive tackle help. I'd also be thinking about getting another linebacker to replace James Harrison because he's about 70 years old now. You might want to get somebody else. The Seahawks getting Taylor Decker at 26. Okay. They need offensive line too, so that's another thing that would be very helpful. Either that or a running back because Marshawn Lynch just retired. they have on here with Russell Wilson becoming more and more of a pocket passer. Seattle's going to have to improve the offensive line. Yeah, but you also need help with the run game, seeing as that's how you move the ball. You got Green Bay getting Kenny Clark. Yeah, okay. I don't know if I'd go with Kenny Clark for say. They do need a defensive tackle, though. I'd probably go after. What pick is that? 27? With 27. If Kenny Clark is there and you like what you see on tape from him, I'm not thrilled about the tape that I've seen on Kenny Clark. I'd probably go after Adolphus Washington. If not Adolphus Washington, then Sheldon Day. Those were the top two big standouts for me defensive tackle-wise that would still be available at 27. The Kansas City Chiefs getting Sheldon Rankin out of Louisville. Sheldon Rankin is a scary, scary dude. He's got quickness off the line, and he uses his hands very well. I watched some tape on him playing for Louisville, and then I watched him do some practice for the Senior Bowl. And this kid is somebody that needs to be on the radar. He is scary good. The Cardinals getting Shalik Calhoun. They have him on here as defensive line and outside linebacker. I don't think you move him. I think you leave him at defensive end. Again, great hands, ability to shove off and get away from offensive linemen, and the ability to take out other people's quarterbacks. That would be a dangerous threat to have on line. That sound you're hearing is my heater kicking on. Denver getting Jason Spriggs from Indiana. Yeah, your offensive line needs a little help. I think that'd be a smart idea. Getting a quarterback wouldn't hurt, but I think I'd probably wait until like the third round, see who's available. Because who's to say that Peyton isn't going to retire? I think he is, but I've heard I've heard theories that he's going to stay for another year. I don't know, but giving the reins to Brock would be smart, and having somebody fresh and young behind Brock would be even smarter. But getting Jason Spriggs at offensive line would not hurt. Be a smart idea, getting somebody. Now, here's what I think is funny. Notice how I just said Denver, and this is supposedly post-Super Bowl, because the next pick, which would be the last pick, 31, goes to the Panthers. That's not accurate. It'd be the other way around. But anyway, they have the Panthers getting Kendall Fuller out of Virginia Tech. That's a smart plan, getting another backfield defender, helping out your defensive backfield. However, I don't know if that's the guy you go after in Kendall Fuller in the first round. If this were a second round pick, I would, without question, go after him. With my first rounder being 30, not 31, I'd be thinking Tre'Davious White is a good corner. He'd be good to go after if you were going to go after a corner and you decided not to go after Kendall Fuller. Otherwise, offensive line, because as we saw in the Super Bowl, your offensive line evidently is terrible. But yeah, that's that for the mock draft, I believe. Let me see. Here's how to tell what team these guys like. Nope, that was 32 of 32. Whether or not they have the Patriots actually picking from the next round, because they don't have a first round pick. Okay, this is, again, from Campus Sports. The complete NFL, according to them, NFL Scouting Combine invitees, the 2016 Scouting Combine. At quarterback, they have invited Brandon Allen, Trevon Boykin, Jacoby Brissett, Connor Cook, Brendan Doughty, Jeff Driscoll, Jared Goff, Christian Hackenberg, Kevin Hogan, that's his name, from Stanford, Cardell Jones, Cody Kessler, Paxton Lynch, Dak Prescott, Nate Sudfeld, Carson Wentz, Vernon Adams, Joel Staley, and Josh Woodrum from Liberty. Of those throwing at the combine, it'll be Vernon Adams, which is good. I want to see him stand in the pocket and throw. Joel Stabby, and Woodrum. To go with the whole thing that I was saying about Carson Wentz, I would take Vernon Adams over Carson Wentz 9 times out of 10. I think he's the better quarterback. I think Boykin, you're going to see his stock fall a little based on a couple of poor games and his trouble with the law. At running back, they've invited Peyton Barber out of Auburn, Devontae Booker, Trey Carson from Texas A&M, Alex Collins, Marshawn Kubrick, Kenneth Dixon, Kenyon Drake, Ezekiel Elliott, Tyler Irvin, Josh Ferguson, Glenn Gronkowski, who's a fullback, and I do not care to see him go, just because the only reason he's going to the draft is because his last name is Gronkowski, and I don't believe he's related to the Gronkowskis that most people think of. Derrick Henry, Quavion Hicks, he's a fullback. Jordan Howard, Andy Janovich, he's a fullback. Devin Johnson, Daniel Lasco, Trey Madden, Kevin Marshall, Keith Marshall, if I could read, Paul Perkins, CJ Procise, Wendell Smallwood, Kevin Taylor, Shad Thornton, Soma Fainaku, he's a fullback. Dan Vital, fullback. DeAndre Washington, Brandon Wiles, and Jonathan Williams. So quite a few running backs getting invited to the combine. Wideouts being invited to the combine. We'll scroll. Braylon Addison, Geronimo Allison, DeMarcus Ayers, Tyler Boyd, Chris Brown, Aaron Burnbridge, Devon Kajus, Leonte Carew, Corey Coleman, Farrell Brown, Cody Core. Scroll down a little further. Trevor Davis, Josh Doxson, DJ Foster, Will Fuller, Kyrus Garrett, Rashard Higgins, John Holton, Caleb Jones, Kenny Lawler, Roger Lewis, Colby Listenby, Ricardo Lewis, Byron Marshall, Jalen Marshall, Mikhail McKay, Braxton Miller, Malcolm Mitchell, Chris Moore, Marquise North, Jordan Payton, Sharon Peak, Marcus Robinson, Alonzo Russell, Rashawn Scott, Hunter Sharp, Tayaj Sharp, I have no idea who that is, Sterling Shepard, Nelson Spruce, Michael Thomas, Laquan Treadwell, Duke Williams, Darunia Wilson, and that would be that. Half of those names I have no idea who they are, which is good, because if you get someone from a smaller college to go to the combine, it allows them to be seen. For instance, last year, there was a kid from, what the fuck college did he come from? It was 1A ball that nobody knew who he was, and he got taken in the second or third round to Tampa. At tight end. Let's scroll down here. Oh, okay, this list is significantly short. Jarrell Adams, Steven Anderson, Bo Brackner, out of Harvard, never heard of him. Thomas Durant, David Greenidge, Tamarick Hemingway, out of South Carolina State, Hunter Henry, Tyler Higbee, Austin Hooper, Ryan Malik, Jake McGee, David Morgan, Bo Sandlin. Oh, he went to Montana State. He was actually, I believe Bo Sandlin was with Miami of Florida. Nick Vannett and Bryce Williams. Those are the tight ends. An offensive line. This is going to be a long-ass list. Yes, it is. Holy sweet Jesus. I'm not going to read that. Let me put it to you this way. Yeah, there's a shitload of names. I don't feel like reading that. What time is it? It's almost 10. Yeah, I'm not going to read that. Sorry. If you want to know who the offensive line is, who's going for the offensive line, it's on campus-sports.net/scouting-combine-2016-complete-list-of-invitees/7/. It'd be the 7th page. At defensive line. Oh, Jesus. Yep, not reading that either. If it's over 50 names, I'm sorry, I'm not going to read it. At linebacker, oh dear. A fuckload. I'll just say that. Who's going at linebacker? There's a fuckload of people going at linebacker. I want to read these lists, but I don't want to wake up my neighbors and have them come being pissed off at me, especially because this is the first week of me being here. Can't read defensive backs either. Jesus Christ, that's a long list. It's a lot. I'll just say that. It's a lot. Please be a shorter list for the next one so I can at least read it. It's like kickers or something like that, right? Oh, specialists. So yeah, kickers. Oh, much shorter. Kickers. Oh, there's long snappers on this list too. Okay, sorry, specialists. Roberto Aguayo from Florida State. Brad Craddock. He's a kicker. Riley Dixon, punter. Lack Edwards, punter. Kaimi Fairburn, kicker. Tom Hackett, punter. Drew Kaser, punter. Marshall Cohen, kicker. Jimmy Landis, long snapper. John Lunsford, kicker. Will Monday, he finally decided to go from Duke. He's a punter. Jared Obakram, kicker from Texas Christian. And Nick O'Toole, punter from West Virginia. And that's that. That's their entire list. Please feel free to look that up. Like I said, that is Campus Sports. If you go on Facebook, you can find it a lot quicker. Go to NFL Draft. It's one of the NFL logo. Click on it. Scroll down. It's on their feed somewhere. Other than that, coming up in mixed martial arts, Conor McGregor is fighting Rafael dos Anjos for lightweight belt. Holly Holm is fighting Miesha Tate to defend her belt. They just announced Cormier Jones 2. That's in April. Trying to think off the top of my head. Frank Mir is fighting Mark Hunt. There's one more big one that they announced. Cejudo. Henry Cejudo is going to fight Demetrius Johnson for the flyweight belt. So DJ is going to go 5 rounds with Cejudo. I got DJ by decision, assuming he doesn't knock him out or choke him out, which are the only other 2 ways you can beat somebody in mixed martial arts: submission or knockout, unless they decide to quit. But yeah, that's that. I just wanted to do a quick check-in, say hello to all you people. This is a nice little short podcast just to say hello, introduce you to my new place, and let you see what my hideous face really looks like. Most of the time there's a glare coming in and you only see half. But yeah, that's that. You guys have yourselves a lovely rest of your evening, morning, whenever the hell you watch this. Again, huge thank you goes out to Joe Rogan and the JRE. Available on YouTube and iTunes. And Zions, the only energy drink I drink. It's delicious. I'm not sponsored by either of these companies. Although if they'd love to sponsor me, that would be fantastic. You guys have yourselves a lovely evening, like I said before. Bye.